Boy, can I stir up some shit. Anybody who knows me knows I'm not very well known for keeping my mouth shut. Um, this message is primarily for Randall Weddle and his supporters. So please listen carefully. Anybody that's followed me for the last 3 years knows I am a watchdog for local city government. I have had two major victories, arguably three major victories against the City of London in the last couple of years. One pertaining to the London City Tourism Commission, and another one pertaining to the London Utility Commission. There are some other things in the works. I have filed some ethics complaints. Those are in the works. And when I find something wrong with government, especially city government, where I spend most of my time, I am going to let it be known. I have the right as a citizen to do that. There are people that apparently think that I don't have the right to do that. Well, let me give you a little backstory here about my involvement with Randall Weddle. Weddle is the one that brought my family into this mayoral election thing. We weren't taking a side in this election until Weddle started spreading lies. Lies that emanated from the likes of Dean Johnson and lard-ass Lonnie Owens. Now, with that said, we got pulled into the mix, and it's been a dogfight ever since. Now, I laid low for a while, and then all of a sudden, someone submitted to me some evidence that happened at the day of the big gas and food giveaway. Tell you what happened. I contacted the Registry of Election Finance about a violation of finance laws. I filed the complaint. I wrote the complaint, but at the same time, I found out that Judd Weaver had some other evidence pertinent to the gasoline giveaway. So I gave Judd my letter, and he just mailed it all in. My complaint went in with some other evidence that other people had provided, including Judd. When that hit Frankfurt, while Randall Weddle has gone nuts. He's gone nuts. He was notified of that complaint, and he put copies of the complaint out there, return address out there, and what have you. But here's what I want Randall Weddle to be exposed on. This is a part of due process. If Randall Weddle believes in due process of the law, then citizens have a right to make complaints, and government has a right to look into those complaints. Why doesn't Randall Weddle just wait and see what happens? Nope. He took my complaint, copied it, posted it on the internet, posted on Facebook, and began to attack me personally. Now listen, folks. I've been through every kind of personal attack that you could imagine. You can't hurt me. I've heard it all. I've experienced it all. And the only thing I can say is if you knew the truth about me, you really would be shocked. You'd be shocked at the system. But that's a whole nother story for another day. To summarize, I filed a complaint with the Registry of Election Finance for violation of election finance laws pertaining to the big gas giveaway that Randall Weddle did. I sent it in, along with evidence that other people had. Actually, Judd Weaver mailed the whole packet. I'll give you one little update about that in just a second. Randall Weddle found out about that complaint and attacked me personally. Is that the way Randall Weddle is going to run City Hall? When everybody comes in there to complain about something to do with city government, is he going to attack them personally? Is that the kind of leader Randall Weddle is? Take no crap off the citizenry, and if someone has a complaint, go after them personally? Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Weddle. Get ready, because I'll be there. If you're mayor, I'll be at those meetings, and I'll be watching every move you make. So if you're going to attack, get your attack dogs ready, because that's just the way it is when you're in politics. There are always going to be watchdogs that keep an eye on things, and I'm one of those watchdogs. But ask yourself this question. I had a legitimate concern about a violation of campaign finance laws, and I filed it. The law says that's what has to be done. Randall Weddle has no respect for the law. He attacked me personally. He came after me personally, and he's letting all of his cronies attack me personally rather than believe in the system. What kind of mayor is this guy going to be? He's a spoiled, rotten, fat, little, rich kid that thinks he can get, the word little should be struck there. He's a rich kid that thinks he can get anything with his money. Folks, listen. I filed my complaint. Mr. Weddle knows my complaint was not accepted. It was rejected. And I'll tell you why. Because I left a statement out. This is the part Mr. Weddle doesn't know yet. He's going to find out. I redid my complaint, and it's on its way to Frankfurt. So the same complaint has been redone, expanded a little bit, and it's on its way back to Frankfurt. So hang on, Mr. Weddle. Hang on. What we are trying to do is we're trying to get to the truth, to find out if you violated campaign finance laws. If you did, there should be consequences to that, buddy. You can't just run roughshod any way you want. There are laws that are there and laws that are designed to regulate systems. Running for office is a system, and there are laws that regulate that. If you have violated something, take your licks, man, and go on. You may be a slap on the wrist, maybe a little penny ante fine. I don't know. But I did what I did because I believe you violated campaign finance laws. So deal with it, man, and quit trying to run roughshod over people. If this is the kind of mayor that you're going to be, people need to think twice about voting for you, bro. Because anybody has the right to launch complaints against campaign officials, people running for official positions, public figures running for office, or public officials. It's just the way it is, man. If you don't like the heat, don't go near the kitchen. Another thing I'm extremely sick and tired of hearing. Randall Weddle knows that I have never asked him for a job. He tells people that I'm mad at him and I don't like him because he has turned me down for a job for when he becomes mayor. Folks, that's a lie. I will put on a polygraph in Randall Weddle sitting next to me with another polygraph on and prove who's telling the truth and who's lying. I've never asked Randall Weddle for a job. I've never asked Judd Weaver for a job. I've never asked for any job in city government, and I don't want one. Now, another point I'm going to make, and that is that Weddle likes to talk about change. I'm so sick of hearing the word change, especially from people who do not present any chance for change. And I'll tell you why. For the last several months, Randall Weddle has had the hand of City Attorney Larry Bryson, who's been there for 40 years, Mayor Troy Rudder, who's been mayor for 16 years and probably city council 20 years before that, Dean Johnson, who was in county government for almost 40 years, and all of Dean's cronies. These are the people that Weddle has hooked up with to help him with his campaign. He's not offering change. He's offering the same old crap with the same old crooked cronies that have been in this area controlling things for the last several years. Mr. Weddle, you ought to be ashamed taking any kind of input from Mayor Rudder and City Attorney Larry Bryson. Those two guys helped bring about the worst audit in the City of London's history. Oh, they like to blame it on council. They like to blame it on the Tourism Commission. But everybody knows who was in charge of the time that led up to the audit. Not anymore. Not anymore. The SPGE program at tourism and the SPGE program at the London Utility Commission that I won, the two major victories I won, separated them. They're now protected from idiot mayors and idiot city attorneys. So you might ought to do a little bit of research on how city government works, Mr. Weddle, but you certainly don't bring any promise of change when you're hooked up with the same old crooked cronies that have been running things around here for the last 20, 25, 30, 35 years. Sorry, that's just the way it is, man. But to me, one of the most important lessons being taught here are the ways that Randall Weddle reacts when someone challenges him. The way that Randall Weddle attacks when someone disagrees with him. I filed a legitimate complaint that has to do with campaign finance laws. He has reacted with an all-out assault and attack on social media of me. This is very concerning, and it's something that people need to stop and think about, because sooner or later you're going to have a problem with City Hall. You're going to have a problem with the way city government works, whether it be the police or the fire services or the utility commission or the street department. You're going to have a complaint. What's Weddle going to do? Not listen to the little people, do everything his way? Things to think about for sure, folks. Thank you for your time.